What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mythic Plus. Today we are going to continue our series about just doing guides. It's been enough time in the season where we can feel comfortable to give a little bit of insight on pug routes that work. This one is going to be pretty simple just because it's something that we have kind of agreed upon as a community. This is going to be something that most everyone does, but there's a couple things that I've been doing with it. Just things to keep in mind, things to avoid, that sort of thing. So whenever we go into this dungeon, we have absolutely every cooldown available. Always try and do this first pull with Lust. Just do the whole room. Just absolutely demolish it. I would recommend, especially if you're forming groups for this dungeon, is get a lot of uncapped AoE. Things like Unholy DK, Frost Mage, what else? I don't know. Even like Sin Rogue is really, really good here just because they can funnel damage into these lashers quite a bit. So anything like that will do a lot of work in this dungeon. Rep Paladins. The only times I've seen people really struggle with this pull is if people just aren't doing quite enough damage, pull lives too long, and the tank just can't keep up or has to kite. So keep that in mind. The real dangerous thing about this pull is just these lashers living too long as well, for the most part. The tank is just not going to be able to live too long. The dot that they put on you and stack up on you hurts quite a bit. So just make sure that those are dying as quick as humanly possible. Pop everything, destroy this pull. If you don't want to do that, you can always do like half the room, and then lust the boss. Totally fine. It might mess up your lust timing for a little bit later in the dungeon because we will need it a little bit earlier than Veximus. But this is pretty standard, has been for a couple seasons now whenever this shows up. Do the boss, get this Guardian Sentry, pretty straightforward. No fancy snapping or anything like that. I know there's tech where you can snap some birds over to this platform to make it more efficient, but we're not going to do that today, and pugs aren't usually going to do that anyway. Do these 3 packs of birds. Nothing too crazy about these. Just make sure, especially if you're tanking, watch the bleed. Make sure that once you get like 5 or 6 stacks, you are watching your health. You will start getting hit like an absolute freight train. Do Croth. We're going to do Airside first and the Fireside second. Wait for it. I know people dunk a little bit early nowadays because they're worried about those Ruinous Winds going off. Always safer to dunk early, but you can min-max. Just wait a couple seconds until you dunk it just to min-max your DPS a little bit. Get the boss lower so that burn phase at the end doesn't last quite as long. Once we get over to this platform, you can actually just like skip this. You can just kind of jump from here over to here, you know. So this is a pretty easy skip where you can just make sure that you don't do 2 of these Ravagers. That's the thing that I see kind of brick groups or waste a lot of time. These Ravagers have a ridiculous amount of health. Like, they are just going to be so tanky. So as few of these as we can do, as you can see, we're skipping the one over here as well. As few of these as we can do, that's going to be huge. So we skip this, go over to this left side here, pull these 2 Foragers into the Ravager, into the 4 other Foragers. This is something where you're going to do like delayed DPS cooldowns. These are all going to snap to the tank pretty much instantly. They're going to charge to the tank, and then they're going to start kind of dashing around. Try not to stand in Narnia if you're ranged DPS. Make sure that these guys, when they jump out, the Ravagers are going to jump onto random people and do their cast. Make sure the tank doesn't have to move too much to relocate to you. That always saves a lot of time here. But this is our second Lust pull. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to try and save time, absolutely demolish this Ravager, take him out, take out these Foragers, and move on. There's not really anything else that we need to Lust here. I wouldn't even recommend doing this whole platform and lusting it. I just don't think it's worth it. It's a little bit too risky. If anything goes off, you're not in a coordinated group with pugs, wouldn't do it. If you're with a coordinated group, maybe, but with pugs, definitely not. So we'll lust this pull on pull 6. We'll go down the bridge. Don't forget to grab these other 2 Foragers and just drag them all the way over here to that 7th pull. And then grab these 2 other Foragers at the end. The only thing about this pull, just make sure the Mana Fiends get kicked. Have one person kick one, another person kick the other one. Don't stun them, don't do anything like that. It's just one kick. So just use your actual interrupt so they don't cast it again. Makes it a lot simpler. We'll go ahead and do this. And then you can do this in kind of whatever order. If you want to do 9 and then 8, 8 then 9, totally fine. Grab these Foragers based on where this Pat is kind of patrolling here. But we'll do these 2 Foragers in with this pull and then these 2. The reason we're doing this is because we don't want to do these 2 together. There's going to be 2 Mana Fiends in this one, 2 Mana Fiends in this one. So that means on higher keys, that's 4 casts that are going to like absolutely demolish you, like that might one-shot you. So we're not going to do those together. The reason we're doing this is because there's just 3 Battle Axes in this pull. Those are not going to do a whole lot. And then the Unruly Textbooks, totally fine. Just let the cast go off. They do this monotonous lecture that just stuns people. Let the cast go off, stun it, and they won't cast it again. So If someone's stunned for, half a second, totally fine. Don't worry about it. Make sure you have your kicks for these mana fiends and just use the kicks on the mana fiends just like we did before. Make sure that we're interrupting that really dangerous cast. Don't worry about these. They're not going to kill you. Next pull, we're just going to do the foragers with the remaining mana fiends. Again, just kick the mana fiends. Not too crazy. The only other variation here is if you forget to do these Arcane Foragers with the boss, do them with the rest of this pack, just with these ones on the bridge. Otherwise, you can drag these Foragers in the boss. It's not going to make a huge difference. It's pretty safe. So they don't do a whole lot of damage. They're good funnel, especially if you have like a Sin Rogue, like I mentioned earlier. Definitely a good thing to do with the boss, especially if you have just classes that benefit really heavily from funnel damage. You can do these Foragers with the boss, or you can do them with the bridge. Bridge, 3 mana fiends, make sure you hard kick them. It's kind of the same formula as the ones over here. Don't use stuns. Don't see all those casts come off and just AoE stun. It's a bad idea. Usually you'll eat people's kicks, and then no one has kicks, and then you're just kind of in a weird pinch. So make sure you use your hard kicks, hard interrupts on these mana fiends. You can even assign it. Say, hey, I got this one. I got the other one. Makes it a lot easier as well. Takes a second to type that too, and it'll save you a lot of grief later on. This last part, we're going to do just these 2 Invokers and the Echo Knights. These Echo Knights actually do quite a bit of damage. That Arcane Smash, it just does a lot of AoE damage on higher keys. These Invoker casts don't do that much damage. Like, even on higher keys, they don't hurt that much. So if you're able to, save your kicks and stops and all that sort of stuff for the overlap when this guy is casting Smash. Make sure that you stun these, stop these, kick these, whatever, so the Smash can go off, your healer can stabilize, and then these guys can start casting again. So that's the only thing that I would let people know there. And then we're going to grab these 2 that are outside the room, drag them into these other 2 Echo Knights, and then probably just drag them into the boss room. A lot of people will sit in this little corridor. There's like this tiny room right here that you can't really see. There's this little antechamber here. There's no need to just sit in there. Obviously, moving this Invoker can be a little bit challenging sometimes, but try and move into the boss room just so you have a little bit more room to work. Your camera angles don't get messed up. You can see all the things on the ground, and you can move away from the things a lot easier. The room gets a little bit claustrophobic if you stay in there too long. Once this Invoker dies, even if there's a couple Echo Knights left, you can go ahead and chain pull them into the boss, and that is the dungeon. That's the route that I've been using with Pugs. Very, very safe. Just a couple things to keep in mind. Pretty straightforward. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.